Hey there, thanks for signing in. Welcome to the Picnic Table Ant Chat. We start in half an hour after a bit of feeding in the multi-species tank. See you there. Hey there guys and girls, only 15 minutes left of this feeding before the interview starts. See you there.
Hello. Oh, there we go. Hello there. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Brilliant. Welcome everybody to the picnic table. I am your host, Tom from Ants on the Rock. Today we have guest speaker Ants and Pets. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Bradley from Ants and Pets. I have a channel on YouTube about my ants and my pets. Pretty obvious from the name. And yeah.
Brilliant. Just so everyone knows, we are broadcasting to YouTube and Twitch tonight, so that's great fun. And don't forget, we can check it out on Spotify by tomorrow as well. So this is just about everywhere I can get it, broadcasting as many places as we can. So let's just start the interview, shall we? First question: when did you start keeping ants, and what made you start keeping them?
I started them about 3 years ago. I just really have always liked ants. I was very interested in when I was little. I'd watch them. First ant farm was an Uncle Milton ant farm I got the ants sent to me in the mail. Started keeping them, but unfortunately they died. So later I got a gel farm, but
Yeah,
now I know those are pretty bad for them. And I got my first queen about 2 years ago, and it was a Formica queen, I believe,
nice.
and I still have that colony. I tend to only show my recent colonies on YouTube though, but
Yeah.
I do have quite a few colonies in reality.
Okay, cool. You say ants and pets in your name. So what are the other pets that you're on about?
I have a giant African millipede, and I have a Pac-Man frog, a giant
No.
African bullfrog. I have some feeding videos about my Pac-Man frog, and I have a video about me building the vivarium for my
Yeah,
African bullfrog. I also have my ants, obviously. I have a
yeah.
guinea pig named Snowball, and I have two dogs, a golden retriever and a Shih Tzu.
Oh wow. So loads of different pets.
Yes, quite a bit.
Yeah. How do you find keeping them all? Do you find it's like a push for time, or do you just enjoy it and it's not an issue at all?
I really enjoy it. I don't have an issue with it at all. I just really enjoy it.
That's good. That's good. So, what fuels your passion to make videos?
I just like sharing what I have at home and showing people what I have. Yeah. I like
Yeah,
to be able to share what I have with the community, and I found it a great way to share information and just I don't really know what else to say.
yeah. It's just great fun being part of the community, really, isn't it? That's what I
Yeah.
do it for. I mean, it's not for any kind of personal gain. It's just great sharing your passion with people, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We've got a question popping up from Ant Ramblings. What is a shishi dog?
Part Shih Tzu, part Chihuahua.
Okay, so a tiny little thing.
Yeah, they kind of have a scruffy little face and the body of a Chihuahua. Very playful, very fun. Not at all mean like a Chihuahua.
Nice. Cool. Cool. I mean, chihuahuas are all right, but they are
But
a
they can
bit,
be mean sometimes.
yeah, bit yappy, I think is the correct word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so next question. Have you got any advice for ant keepers starting up or even pet keepers? You say you've got loads of other things, just people looking to get into the hobby.
Make sure you do research first and just have patience because patience is key with ant keeping.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Patience is a massive, massive thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is a good question given to me by my daughter. Can you share either your best experience or your worst experience of ant keeping? Like anything you've done wrong, any good stories,
Oh
any bad
yes, yes,
stories?
yes.
Go on, share
Okay,
a
my worst
couple.
experience was my America Rubia colony, and
Right.
I had them in a naturalistic setup in a fish tank. They ended up
Yeah.
chewing through the silicone and getting out the corner and escaping.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
was terrible.
Okay. So they were just like everywhere, or did you manage to contain it really fast?
I managed to catch them pretty fast. Only about 50 workers got out, but I think I got all of them. Hopefully, I mean, there's a few that kept showing up, but all of them got picked up mostly.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they
It's a
didn't
bit
get
of
to
a
any
nightmare.
other ants.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, that's one thing I always worry about in my ant corner because they're so close to each other. If one gets out, they're sort of already on top of the next one.
Yeah,
Bit of an issue.
I keep all my ants right. I keep them all on a table and a shelf. So
Yeah, there you go. Bit of a risk, but I mean, I try and keep on the barriers. I have alarms set once a week to reapply barriers, things like that. But you can never be 100% sure, can
yeah,
you?
I replace my barrier every Sunday.
Every Sunday, there you go. Mine's every Monday. Mainly because I'm really busy on a Sunday. So All Ants UK has just asked, what is the favourite pet that you own? If you can give a favourite out of all your pets,
I can't really give a favorite, but I can give a top 3.
go on.
I love my Pogometrix Occidental colony. That was
Okay, yeah,
that was one of my first really good colonies. That was very fun to feed, very active. I really liked them. I like my Pac-Man frog because I've had him
yeah,
for a while, and he's a good feeder. He likes to eat.
yeah.
And I like Snowball, my guinea pig, just because he's very
Okay,
sweet and likes to cuddle up.
okay, yeah. So with a Pac-Man frog, can you explain a little bit more about the ins and outs of keeping a Pac-Man frog? I don't know much about them.
Sure. So a Pac-Man frog is basically just a frog, but they do not swim very well. They tend to
Right.
burrow, and they
Okay.
are very good feeders. They will eat almost anything. You just have to wave it from their face, and they will eat it. Any
Yeah.
food that my ants don't end up accepting, I can just feed it to my frog pretty much, as long as it's meat.
Yeah.
He will take small frozen thawed pinkies, which are
Okay.
really nice. He'll take dubia roaches, large or small roaches. He'll take mealworms, super worms, crickets, pretty much anything that I can feed him.
Yeah.
He's not a
Everything.
picky eater at all, and he's very aggressive towards his food, which is why
Okay.
I recommend not feeding them with hands. You definitely
Yeah.
use feeder tongs, and definitely here's my number one thing: if you have Pac-Man frog, make sure you take them out of the enclosure to feed them, so they do not associate your hand with food. They need to associate something else. I put mine in a bin, so they associate the bin with food, not my hand. Otherwise, they'll try and bite your hand.
Okay. Okay. That's really interesting. That. Okay. So you literally have to remove the Pac-Man frog and put it in a separate unit every
Yes,
time you feed it.
I just put him in a little tub, and then I'll feed him there, then put him back when he's done eating. So he
Okay.
does not
So
associate my hand with food.
so now it's associated that tub with food. Will it willingly go into that tub, or do you still have to like
Yes,
wrestle with it to get it in?
yes, he knows when I open it most of the time, he'll come out from his burrow and walk over to me, and I'll pick him up and put him in there. He's not aggressive about it anymore at all.
That's really cool. That is
Yeah.
very cool. So, what's his sort of setup like? Is it a bioactive vivarium?
Yes, it's bioactive. It's not vivarium. He just has a water bowl because, as I said,
Okay.
they're not good swimmers.
Yeah.
But he has substrate, isopods, springtails.
Yeah.
Occasionally, he'll eat the larger isopods.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did put a few mealworms in there just for occasional snacks when they come up. Most of
Yeah.
them turned into darkling beetles, which he ate all of them that turned into darkling beetles. But
Yeah. As they do.
mhm.
But that's good because that's pretty much what you want.
Yeah, he also has a humidifier that I have let run for an hour a day to fill it up with fog.
Okay. Yeah.
And he really
So,
enjoys that because
so they need it
humidify them.
pretty humid as well. What's their heating situation like?
I keep mine at 95 Fahrenheit,
Yeah.
but that's just me because it goes through the
Yeah.
tank, so it doesn't heat the tank up that much. That's just what the heat pad is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the humidity, I just have it go. I have it going full blast for an hour a day,
Yeah. That's
and I
fair.
keep the lid on the tank. I just have a little hole for humidity to come out, and he seems to really be enjoying that. I have some moss planted in it, but as I said, I
Yeah.
do not feed them in the enclosure because another reason, moss is really bad if it gets in their mouth because it can wrap up in their intestines, and then when they try and poop it, it'll just come right out.
Okay. Okay. That's not great.
Yeah.
So, with the isopods, like it can be quite risky putting isopods with some other creatures. Is there any risk towards the Pac-Man frog?
No, not at all. If anything, the risk is for the isopods because he'll just eat them.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, that's great. That's what we want to hear. Because with like millipedes and stuff, you have to be careful in the multi-species tank because there's so much different areas for them to hide. We don't worry too much. and obviously you feed them those. But they will like nip at other creatures, like if they're in their molting stages or any of that, they're like vulnerable. The isopods will generally go for them.
Yeah, my giant African millipede, which is probably
Yeah.
much larger than the millipedes you have. He's
Yes,
about as long. Have you seen the video of him crawling on my arm?
I have, yes.
Yeah, he's pretty big. But
Yeah.
I had put isopods in there originally. I think pretty sure he's eaten all of them by now. But
Right, okay.
he's killed them all and eaten them. I didn't think
Fair
he'd eat them, but he did.
No, well, it's interesting sometimes what happens in nature, if you know what I mean. Like, I like watching the multi-species tank because so many different things are always happening. Like, you might not get to see in the wild.
Yeah, I would love to have a multi-species tank. Might set one up eventually, but I'm very hesitant to do it because I love all my colonies. Don't want to risk them fighting. I might put like new queens in or specifically set them aside just for that, and so I don't get too attached in case they do end up fighting.
Yeah. I mean, that's completely sensible. I was quite. I did an awful lot of research before setting up the tank. Probably a good year or so of research and designing.
Hang on. My screen froze. Are you still there?
And redesigning, replanning.
My screen froze. Hang on.
No, I think I'm back. I think we're back.
Okay, yeah, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. I had a big old shopping list that I had to work my way through as well, and it was a long process before I actually got the guts to start doing it because I knew obviously the risks that were involved. And when I did, I had the 2 species of ants in there, didn't I? And within a week or so, I got them out because that wasn't working. But it's gone really well. I mean, I don't think there's been anything killed off yet. I don't think.
So far, it seems good according to your videos.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the spiders which have found their way in may not have survived that long. The slug didn't last very long. Oh well. I'm just going to say hi. We have loads of people in the chat. So hello KB, hello Dean, hello Ant Ramblings, hello Ant Antics, hello Wakushi, hello Hood, All Ants UK, and Antics. Wow, absolutely loads of people. Thank you all for joining and signing in tonight. It's been absolutely amazing so far.
Hey everybody.
It is great to have a large audience. So onward to questions, I suppose. What is your favourite species of ant, and what is your dream species of ant to keep?
My dream species would definitely be Myrmica.
Yeah.
I don't really care what Myrmica, but I can't really keep them because I'm in the U.S. and they'd be very illegal here, so probably couldn't happen. But my favorite species would have to be a pogometric species. It is Pogometric rugosus, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, definitely Pogometric rugosus, yeah.
That's pretty
cool. I love them because they're easy to keep because they cannot climb up the sides of the enclosure very well. And they're just very fun to watch. They vary in sizes. They can get majors, and they also sting. And they're just beautiful to look at. They have an orangish red gradient. It goes from orange to dark red. The thorax is orange. It just slowly goes up to dark red.
Okay, so they look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So you say about the Myrmica would be illegal. Can you go a bit more into the restrictions around your ant keeping? Because in the UK, we have pretty much no restrictions. If you can get the ants, then you can pretty much keep the ants and no one cares. But in the US, it's slightly different, isn't it?
It's very different in the US. In the US, you're not allowed to ship ants except for a few species. If you get caught doing that, you can get fined. Really, the only few places you can get it are Utah Ant Shop and Tar Heel Ants.
Yes.
Those are really the only places you can get them, other than catching them yourself. So that's what I know. I normally catch them myself or buy them, but whenever you do buy them, they tend to be pretty expensive because there's not very much available. Yeah,
they can push the price right up, can't they?
Yes, like it's about $120 just for a single queen for certain species. And
Yeah,
like for
wow.
carpenter ants, it's normally like 135, 140
Wow.
just for a single queen. And it's not
Wow.
even guaranteed. And it's not even guaranteed live arrival.
Wow. Well, yeah. Well, I don't deal with anyone that won't guarantee live arrival because you know what I mean. I think that makes the difference between a good salesman and a bad salesman, really.
Yeah, but sadly, there's not very many people that guarantee live arrival here because it's
Yeah.
not easy to ship them.
Yeah. That's a bit of a nightmare. I mean, what species of ants do you have locally too?
There's actually quite a wide variety here. Off the tip of my head, I can say Formica, plenty of Campanata species,
Nice.
Pogometric species, a few. What are they called? They're right on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of them right now, but there's quite a few different species around here. There's honeypot
So,
ants. I'm pretty sure I've sent you a picture of my honeypot ants on Facebook.
yes. Yes.
Yeah, that was when I got my new camera.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I like photography a lot.
Yeah. So is that your other hobby?
Yes, my other hobby is photography and also 3D printing.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I've gotten a lot better at 3D printing since my one video. That's when I first started.
Yeah. So do you find that having those other hobbies is really helpful with the ant keeping?
Yes, I do. I like 3D print ant nests a lot.
Yeah.
I'm working
Yeah.
on starting a little shop to sell them, but my printer recently caught fire, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I heard. Yeah. That's a big shame. Big shame.
Yeah.
But we're glad that you're okay because that's the main thing. The fire's
Yeah,
not
I'm
good.
really glad nothing really major burnt down.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Thankfully, I
mean,
was
how
home.
did it start? How did the fire start?
I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure it happened because something knocked the printer over
Okay.
because it was on the floor, so it must have been
Yeah.
something knocked it over while it was running. There are
Okay.
a bunch of safety features for it to shut off, but it must have been too late for that.
Right.
'Cause
And it just
yeah.
went. Well, bit of a nightmare, but like we say, we're glad you're okay. That's the main thing.
Yep.
Have you got any other interesting stories that you want to share with us, good or bad, with your ant keeping experience, or even your Pac-Man or other pets?
One time my guinea pig escaped and jumped out of his cage, which is on top of a bookshelf. He jumped all the way
Oh,
off onto my bed,
yeah,
which is near it, which is pretty surprising because he jumped very far. And then he just was hiding under my blankets. I was looking for him for a good hour until I eventually found him. It gave me quite a heart attack because I really like him.
yeah,
And because there's plenty of small places for him to hide in my room. And that was
yeah,
when he was quite little. So I was very worried that he would get away.
yeah.
But thankfully I found him.
So when
Another
I
thing
was,
oh,
oh, go on.
you go ahead. Okay.
No,
Another thing is my golden retriever. So she had got when we got her, we got her from a shelter. She ended up having both types of heartworms.
okay,
So we had to get that fixed. She also has both of her back legs were broken at one point, so we had to get that fixed.
wow.
But so she's gone through quite a bit, but now she's good.
Well, that's
But
all
she's given me quite a few scares.
right. Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah.
So when I was about 16, 17, I had a hamster, believe it or not, and it escaped where I think I was away for like 2 or 3 weeks, whatever. It escaped in the house where my landlord was feeding it. I came back, never expecting to see it again. And like for a good week or so, I didn't see it. And then there was like signs that it was in the kitchen. I thought I saw it in the kitchen. And then like another week or so passed, and I was just about to get into the shower, open the shower door, and there's my hamster. And it it had been going up and down the stairs and roaming around the house like like it owned the place.
That reminds me of a story about my millipede.
Yeah,
He got out and my mom found him because I still live with my parents because I'm 17.
yeah,
But so he got out of his enclosure because I stupidly left the lid off because I tend to keep the lid on because he'll climb up the sides of the silicone. Because I now keep him in an aquarium, not just a little cage now. Because
yeah.
he's
Okay,
gotten bigger. He's gotten quite
yeah,
bigger already. But So he got out, and my mom ended up walking into the bathroom in the middle of the night and saw him just on the toilet. And she flipped out because she did not want me having him in the first place, but she eventually caved
Right.
in. So she
Okay.
was not very happy about that.
Okay. So
But thankfully,
that
he was
leads
fine.
us that leads us to a very interesting question. How did you convince your parents to let you have ants, millipede, and a frog?
I tried to prove that I had done enough research about it. They were pretty into it once I showed that I was really interested into it and did
Yeah.
all this research. I did tons of research before I got anything. I don't want to get any animal without knowing I can give it good care and give it a good home. Because
Yeah.
I mean, very important to me is making it just be happy and
Yeah.
feel safe. Because I don't want to get something if I can't provide it the best environment it can have.
Yeah.
So
That's
I was able to convince my parents by doing all the research, and they eventually caved in.
That's good. That's good. Now, do you pay for them or do the parents pay?
Oh, I pay for them myself.
That's
Yeah,
completely
they're
fair
not going
then,
to pay
right?
for them.
Okay. I mean, they can't really argue with that. If you've done the research, you're paying for them, you're looking after them. They can't really,
Yeah,
can they?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. And it's great prospects for later in life. I mean, you're so young and you've got great plans to open up a shop. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Well, I plan on just doing a small business online. For starts, probably start some Etsy or Facebook Marketplace or something. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna sell 3D printed ant nests, and I'm probably gonna start a side business of just 3D printing any STL files people send me, which are
yeah,
3D designs.
yeah,
But I already have I already have quite a few designs for nests, but as I said, the printer caught fire, so
yeah. But
but I've gotten
hopefully you'll get
quite a
that
bit of
replaced.
yeah. I will try
Yeah,
and get it replaced. I've gone to the shop, 3D printing shop that's about uh 5 miles away that I had to walk to.
right,
Um,
yeah.
but I've been looking at the new printer. I should be able to get it in about maybe 4 months. But
Okay,
with
so not
Christmas
even
money,
too
it should
long.
help. Yeah, but
Not
Christmas
even
money, it
long.
should help. Yeah, my
Yeah,
job
yeah,
will help.
yeah.
I'm saving
Okay.
again.
So what job do you do if you don't mind us going into that?
I have two jobs. I work at Five Below, which is a $5 shop. They have lots of things. They actually have some pretty good products, but they all sell them for $5 or below.
Yeah, yeah. We've got Poundland and stuff like that in the UK, which is exactly the same.
Cool. I also work at Petco. I know they're
Cool.
not the best with their animals, but I work there. I try and give the animals their best homes they can have while they're there, but I know some people at Petco are not very good with the animals.
Okay, is that like your version of our um I can't even remember our pet shop name, but is that like your big chain store that you have
Oh,
in
we have
America?
Petco and PetSmart. Those are
Okay,
the two big ones. Yeah.
okay. And they're not generally great. Is that because they hire people who don't have like the background knowledge
They
or
tend to
just
not yeah, they tend to not have background knowledge, and they are doing minimum wage for most people, unless they've worked there for a while, which means
yeah,
people don't care that much to take care of the animals, and they aren't providing enough money to truly give them a good home while they're
yeah,
there,
yeah,
so
yeah.
because they're
I
big
mean,
business, they wanna keep the money.
yeah, I mean, we've got exactly the same. I've just seen in the chat from everyone just answered that it's Pets at Home in the UK, and it's exactly the same. They hire people. I'm not saying they don't have a passion for animals and stuff, but if I went in and talked about my ants, they
They probably
wouldn't
wouldn't
have
know
a
anything.
clue. Yeah, not a
Yeah.
clue. And they'd probably be the same with millipedes, scorpions, and just about everything else that I own, which, you know, isn't a cat or dog or a rabbit or something. They haven't really got a clue. Pay peanuts, get monkeys. Yeah, well, that's exactly it, isn't it? Um, they're not they're not going to hire like entomologists or whatever, are they?
Yeah, they have quite a few insects available, but I'm pretty much the only employee that, knows about them, so whenever someone asks questions, they tend to get me, but
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually really lucky. The local Pets at Home shop that I have, I went in there and I did start speaking about my ants, and they went and got someone who watches my ant channel, and I was like, oh, that's That's quite handy.
That's
Hello,
cool.
nice to meet you. And yeah, he helped me out with what I needed, like some vinyl tubing or something like that.
Cool. I have to get my
Yeah.
vinyl tubing not from the pet stores. I have to get it from Home Depot, which is like a hardware
Okay.
shop.
Yeah.
I just get my
Um,
vinyl tubing there.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get it from all sorts of places. I think it's like a quick, I'm here. Have you got anything sort of thing. Um, we're getting loads of people. Where do you get your feeder insects from? Do you get them from that where you work?
Well, originally I got them there, but then I found another place that was a home um what's the word? A family a family owned pet store,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they had breeding colonies for sale, so I bought a breeding colony from them, and I've just been breeding them since then
Fair.
and just
So,
taking them from
what
there.
what do you breed? Do you breed everything like roaches and mealworms and everything?
I do dubia roaches and superworms.
Okay, okay. So yeah, pretty much almost the same as me. I've got a few more going on, but yeah,
I've tried
it's
red runners for a while, but I didn't really like doing that one.
it's so worth having your own colony of feeder insects. It saves so much money.
Yes, I agree completely. I was spending like at least $100 a month on feeder insects before that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know what I was spending. I try not to keep track of it. Put it that
Yeah,
way. I still buy waxworms from Pets at Home, and there's a local pet shop on my little island that I go to occasionally as well. So I buy waxworms and a couple of other bits, pinkies, but I
yeah.
do try and grow most things, save some money.
Do you ever feed your
If
insects fruits or anything?
go on, sorry, go on.
Do you ever feed your insects any fruits or anything?
Right, so interesting one. Generally, no, because I don't trust the fruits that I buy being like free of pesticides and all of that lot. Generally, because I don't generally buy organically grown, like free from whatever's. I just, I can't guarantee it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'll do it at a
Um,
farmer's market, and I'll only do
yeah,
the
yeah.
fruit from farmer's market that I know don't use pesticide.
If I went to a place like that, which I do maybe once a year, I would probably buy some stuff for the ants. I mean, I have, I do always put cucumber in for the isopods, and the
Nice.
Polyrhacus dies have now started eating cucumber. So I tried that with the bullet ants as well. They had no interest in the cucumber at all, like no interest. Um, the Polyrhacus dives didn't go for the blackberries, but the isopods did. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I tend to think like when it comes to sugars, I cheat and I just have that big bottle of Aunt Lady candy sugar stuff, and
I
I
need to
just
try
think
that. I need to try that. But for
it
now,
is really good.
I just get sugar water. I just make myself some
Yeah,
sugar water or honey water, and I'll also occasionally buy Biformica, whatever it's
yeah,
called, their liquid.
yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah,
it's all the same, really.
yeah. Not all my
Yeah,
aunts like Biformica products. I mean, not the products. They don't like the liquid,
yeah.
but
Okay, okay.
yeah. Mm. Um,
Well,
I recommend growing some strawberries if you want to feed them to your ants, because that's helpful for
strawberries.
me.
See,
My
I
aunts
I
like
do
that.
try to grow strawberries in my garden every year, but it's one of the only plants that I just cannot grow. I can grow like big tropical exotic bushes and this and that. I cannot grow strawberries. I don't know why. There's an old lady down the road with a lovely garden full of strawberries, and every year I'm like, how? But yeah, my garden just won't do it, and I don't really have much room left in the house for them.
Maybe try blueberries.
Blueberries, no. Out the front of my place, I've got just the berries, red currant, something else that have all grown really well. They're like in their third or fourth year of fruiting. They're
Mhm.
doing really well, but I haven't actually tried any of the fruits in with the ants. I don't know. Maybe I should like wait until the summer and see what goes on in there.
Yeah, just
See
make
what they
sure you
eat.
don't see any bugs on them or anything. Because
Yeah,
if I
obviously,
see
yeah,
any bugs like on them, just all I won't feed any from that whole entire bush or vine or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. That's fair. I mean, I'm usually pretty careful. I don't like disturbing the habitats. Now I'm like really into insects over the last few years. I'm always careful with where I walk and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agreed. I do that too.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. If anybody in the chat has any questions for Ants and Pets, please do feel free to put them into the comments now. So, if you came up against someone who didn't like ant keeping and didn't really know what you were on about, what would you say to them?
Um, if they didn't like it, I probably wouldn't argue with them. But if I had to, I would. I don't know. I have a few good reasons why you should live like ants, like how they're good for the environment. They are good pest control. I mean, they can be pests themselves, but still.
Yeah,
Um, they're really good at seed dispersal, keeping other insects in check, and just plenty of things. Actually, I
yeah.
can't think of all of them on the top of my head though.
No, of course, but they are very, very important to the environment.
Yes, agreed. I
Yeah,
also like making enclosed terrariums and other little terrariums, and
yeah,
so I really understand how little environments work. I like to watch those.
yeah, yeah. That's cool. So, is there anything else that you want to talk about before we end the interview?
Um, no, not really. Does anyone have any questions in the chat?
Let's just have a little flick back through, see if I've missed anything. They all like these. Do you have antics over there? Or what are the ant stores that you can buy from? You got Poorer More. They're in Canada, aren't they? Can you access
Yeah.
them?
No, I can't. I cannot. I mean, I can order products. I just can't order ants from. I can
Yeah.
order products from anywhere, just not the actual ants.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever ordered from the UK, even though the
Yes,
shipping
I have.
costs would be insane?
Yeah, I have actually. I've ordered from High Tech Ants. I've ordered from
Nice.
Ant Antics,
Yeah.
and I've ordered from Ants England and
Okay. So
Ants
quite a
HQ
few.
and Ants HQ. Yeah, quite a few of them.
No, quite a few.
Yeah,
I'm
they,
just
they tend to have
thinking.
better stuff than that's available here.
Yeah. Would you say that?
Yeah, most people here, like Utah Ant Shop, just sells things from there, but they don't always have a wide variety of things. Um, and Target Ants has pretty good nests. Like I like them. I love the mini hearth.
Yeah.
Definitely my favorite ant nest there is. Um, they're really good for honeypot ants, but
Yeah. Yeah, I want to get a mini hut for my European honeypots because they like to hang.
yeah, they especially love to hang. And it has a textured bottom and sand that can just pull up in it in
Yeah,
case they want to use it for getting their cocoon.
yeah, whatever they do. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
and
That's pretty
they have a good way for humidity also. It's just really
Yeah,
good, but if you get a mini hearth, I recommend getting the side outworld. A lot of people say the top outworld is better, but in my opinion, the side outworld is better because if you have the top outworld, the light is shining in through the top, and that can irritate them. And so
okay.
I tend to do the side outworld, but that's just my personal preference.
That's an interesting point. That is interesting. I don't think I've seen the side out world ones. Right, I'd have to look it up. I might have seen it, but I know the top one. So that's when you're looking in, you can see the light shining in. Yeah,
Yes. So even if you
that's
keep
in.
it covered up, the top it still gets light, and that can irritate them and aggravate them,
Yeah, yeah, of
which
course, of
does
course.
not cause maximum brood in
Yeah,
production. So
yeah,
I tend to have the side outworld. Also, I feel like it's just easier to do because you don't have to shake the whole thing at all when you try and open it. Because lids
yeah.
are not always the best. I tend to just
That
have the
makes
lids
sense.
sitting on there loosely because the lids can be a little tight.
Okay, okay. So, we've got a question from Mark. What state are you living in, if you don't mind saying?
I'm in Missouri. I'm not gonna say where in Missouri, but I'm in Missouri.
No. Okay. Okay. Is that a large state? I don't really know states of America.
It's not as large as Texas, but it's about normal size, I'd say.
Normal size. Okay. Okay. Is
It's
that
beautiful.
in the middle? I'm trying to think. Like, what sort of environment do you have? Is it hot, cold?
Oh, Missouri is literally everything. We get humid summers and nice summers. We get cold winters, but also some is it's so random. We get tornadoes, we get rain. It's just all over. Like I cannot express to you how much the weather is crazy here. Like it can be snowing in the fall, but the next
Yeah.
day it's just nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
Even
little bit like that where I am on this little island. We just have like our own microclimate, and it's crazy.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so weird around here. The weather. You never know what's gonna happen. You always have to check the weather in the mornings.
Yeah. Have you ever used Ants Canada products?
I have, when I first found out about him, I don't really like him, but I guess this is my preference, but Ants Canada, in my personal opinion, is not the best ant keeper either. I mean, I might get
Yeah.
some hate for saying this, but he does not do the best things for the ants.
Yeah. I mean, he is great for the community. Well, no,
True,
he's
he
great.
spreads a lot of
He's
awareness.
great at what he does, but he's not. You know,
He makes some
it's a
poor
shame
decisions
about
for the
his
community.
ethics.
Yeah, he really spreads awareness about the community, but he also makes some poor decisions with his ants sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is a massive. I say it every time. It's a massive shame that he's not involved in the community. I mean, right now we've got like 10, maybe 12 people chatting live in this ant community. People coming and going. You know, we've got a nice little ant community here, as you know, and it's just a
Yeah,
massive shame that he's probably never going to be a part of it.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a big shame.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched his latest videos. I probably won't. I don't know if they're starting to change. I have noticed that they're coming out at different times, and he's doing different things with his channel. So maybe he has noticed that it wasn't going so well. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, hey, McClark. I'm probably pronouncing this Clark C. Liam. You're in Liberty. You're in St. Louis, Missouri. That's pretty close to me. Cool.
Okay, that's pretty cool. If you have to cover by it or try, we're not going to talk
We're
about
not getting
politics.
political.
No, we're not going to get political on this stream. So we're not answering any political questions. And you're only 17, so you can't vote, can you?
I cannot vote yet. I have to be 21.
They're 21. There you go. So you don't even have to worry about it because you can't control it.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's
Even,
drinking. I have to be 18 to vote.
you have to be
Never mind.
18 to vote. Yeah,
I was
21
thinking drinking.
18
Sorry,
to vote. Yeah, no, that's all
21 to
right.
drink.
I don't know. I wouldn't know the rules over there, to be honest.
And do you guys
Um,
vote? No, you guys just have the queen, right?
we have a queen, but we do vote on prime ministers and the cabinet and all of it. No, we vote on our local councillors and then prime ministers, and we have quite a few votes. But to be honest, it doesn't matter. They're all a bunch of losers. No one knows what to do really, and the country's going to fall apart, I'm sure. But we won't get political.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go back to ants for a little bit.
Yeah, let's do that. I will say also it's difficult with school because I'm
Okay.
also to high school and having to get money to pay for my pets.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I manage. But I mean, most
So
of the time I do homeschooling. I only have one. I have only one or two classes at an actual school. Most my other classes are online, and I not just do that because COVID. I've always done that.
that's cool.
Yeah, I find it much more better. I find it much
Yeah.
more easy to do because you can actually focus. You have more attention focused on your class on your work than you have all these distractions around you in school.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't do very well at school. I didn't even last the whole of school because of distractions, we could say.
Yeah, exactly. When I was in school, I was a little bit of a troublemaker, so that did not really end well for me. So now we
Yeah.
tried online
There you
schooling, and that works much better.
There you go. We've got a question from Ants England. What do you do with your ants if you go on holiday? Ants and other animals, we'll say.
Normally I'll feed them a big meal, and because I only ever leave on for a vacation or anything, just for at least for a week at most. So I just feed them a big meal, and they seem to do fine. I've only had one colony die off during vacation, but that was a fairly new colony, and that was because they had not accepted the food I gave them. I had just leave
Yeah,
it in there,
yeah.
so I'm pretty sure that's why. But any of my
Okay.
ants that can have seeds, I'll give them seeds, and that tends to
Yeah.
hold them over as well.
Yeah, of course, of course. That is one bonus about like Messer species. The fact
And
that they eat
Helvetrix.
seeds, you can just pile the seeds in and just leave them to it.
Yeah, messers are not technically legal in America. I mean, I have a messer
Oh,
structure colony, but I'm not going to say how I got it.
no,
But they're
don't.
not
No.
they're not technically legal here,
Wow,
but
okay.
I will say I got my hands on them.
So that's because obviously you've got none in the local area, you can't import them.
Yeah,
So, okay. Wow.
but I do have my ways to get other ant species, but I cannot really talk about that.
No, no, we won't go into that.
Yeah.
So what is your preferred pet or ant shop? What is your preferred ant shop to use?
Either Tar Heel ants or um, I guess just Tar Heel ants because
Okay, Tar
it's
Heel ant.
closer, and I really like their nests.
Yeah, they are really well designed. Like, I haven't had a chance to use them yet. I will do. I'm going to buy the mini Huff at some point, probably after Christmas now. But they do look just really cool, well designed, well thought out, which are the main points. Yeah, I don't think I've ever spoke to him either. Maybe I should try and get him on the show at some point.
You should. He's very active on Facebook. You can join his Facebook group.
Yeah,
I know, and you can email him about any questions. His email is on his website. He's very
yeah.
quick to respond, and he's very helpful whenever it comes to any questions. Like he's willing to answer just your generic questions about ant keeping also.
See, now I think that's what makes an amazing ant shop. Someone that's contactable, like easy to speak to, and does all that extra stuff. If you've got a problem, they're there to help. You know.
Yeah, and he's very good about like once in a while there will be like a little mistake on your nest. He's willing to replace the whole thing. So that's completely well. I don't normally accept the replace the whole thing. I would just because if it's only a small mistake, I don't want to
Yeah,
replace the whole thing.
yeah, just yeah. But
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
that's amazing. That's really generous of them. That's top notch. Whatever customer satisfaction, in my opinion.
The only downside to his nests is he handcrafts every single one of them himself.
Okay,
So
so
it
it can
can
take a
take a little
while.
bit. It can take a little
Yeah,
bit for him to get them to you, and also he does them very custom. Like you can
yeah,
pick the inside, the substrate, the color, the material the nest is made out of. I recommend just the
wow.
default material for. I recommend just the default material for the mini hearth because it works
Yeah,
best in my opinion. It also
yeah.
has it's also mold resistant. The paint that he puts on, so it's very helpful.
That's cool. That is cool. That sounds like I'm gonna have to have another look in a minute and probably order one sooner than I was going to now. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, if you get honeypots, I definitely recommend them. They're originally designed to be honeypot ant nests,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
then people
exactly.
start using them for other nests.
I mean, I've got my European honeypots and they're still in a tubs and tubes set up. I don't ever look in the test tube. I've looked in there once and they had repletes absolutely filled to the brim. I think they're still doing quite well. I've seen the first like 2 or 3 dead bodies get carried out now, so I'm hoping they're replacing those workers. I'm assuming they are.
I recommend moving them into a mini hearth.
Yeah,
Not immediately, even though it is a founding nest. It's not very big, but I would
yeah,
not recommend putting them in right away. I'd recommend like at least 12 workers before you put them in.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
But
I
but
think
they do
there's
pretty well.
probably a good 20 to 30 workers in there, to be honest.
They do pretty well with mini hearth then.
Yeah, yeah.
And
They're
also
not.
you can pick the port connection size, so that's a very nice addition to it.
Yeah. Is there a connection port to add it to further out worlds?
Yes, there is. He actually sells it at Outworlds, and so there's actually
Cool.
2 connection ports. He also has something, I forgot what it's called, but it's a liquid. It's a type of liquid feeder. It's a little
Right.
vinyl tubing thing with micro mesh on it and a little
Right.
stopper. You cover the micro mesh with your finger, fill the tube up with water, and stick a stopper in it, and the tension will keep the water in. And you stick it in
Cool.
there, and they can drink from it or use it for extra humidity, and that's
Yeah.
something I
Cool.
really like.
That
Something
is
common
very
that
cool.
people misunderstand about a mini Earth is that they fill the water tower up too high. It's not.
Yeah.
It should be only filled about half or to 3/4 of the way full. So it's just humidity. You don't want to get wet on the inside.
Yeah. Yeah. I have actually heard that one before. That it's just been too wet because they've overfilled it. Yeah.
Yeah, never fill it up all the way.
It would be an issue if you release them, but didn't think it would be an issue if you haven't. So I was just reading there, just
That's fine.
reading. And I not allowed to Australia, but everything is not allowed unless it's native. Yeah, it does sound like Australia. Who said that? Dean. Yeah, Dean says it sounds much like Australia. Like you can't import anything.
Only
They've
problem is
got
you
some
can't
quite.
ship them either because we have such a
Yeah.
wide variety. Like certain species aren't even native to the state we're in, so you're not allowed to ship them at all.
Oh wow, wow.
Yeah, you're not allowed to
Um,
transport them between states. You're not even supposed to transport them within the state, but people do it on eBay a lot.
yeah, yeah. What about your other pets, the Pac-Man and stuff? Was there any kind of restriction to Pac-Man or the millipedes?
Well, I had to get a permit for my giant African millipede because
Okay,
I had to get a permit from the state to keep him, which was a whole process. But
yeah,
they were surprised that 17-year-old was trying to do that.
yeah,
But
yeah, bet, yeah. Can you explain the process a little bit for anyone that might not know it?
it wasn't that hard. You just had to contact them, answer a bunch of questions, and give personal information, contact information, and just prove go a while without they have to check your background information, make sure you haven't broken any laws, and then
Yeah,
if you're all clear, they'll let you have the paper, the certification,
right,
and then let you get them. But there's only so many chances you get if you happen to mess up.
yeah, okay. So, do you ever have someone come round and check on the welfare, or is it like they're waiting for someone to report it?
They just need someone to report it to be able to step in and see something. They don't come around and check.
Yeah, that's cool. That is a funny comment from Ants England. Guns are okay, but ants and insects are a no-no.
Exactly, that is so true. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
very true. Guns are very legal here. Plenty of people
yeah.
have them.
I mean, we don't have that over in the UK. We have insects anywhere we want, but we can't get hold of guns.
Oh,
I
that's
hope.
we can get guns pretty easily. Like we can just get them at Walmart. You know what
Yeah,
Walmart is? Yeah, we can just
that's
yeah. They literally have a little section of guns in Walmart.
that's like we've got Asda, which is I think owned by Walmart, and that's like a much smaller version. They sell loads of stuff, so that's like Asda having handguns.
Are you
That
able to
would,
get Are you able to get guns on Amazon?
I don't think we could buy it. Like
Oh, we can.
it'd probably get intercepted in shipping or something. They've even made most knives are now illegal as well. You can't own samurai swords in England and things like that.
Well, let's end the conversation about that stuff because my dad overhears and he's like, "No." So
No, no, we don't want any of that.
yeah,
It was, but you can buy rifle rounds with your milk. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. The difference
yep,
between America and the UK is just so insane. It always blows my mind.
yeah, very different. I think it'd be fun to go to the UK though. I
Yeah,
hear that it's very beautiful there.
it is, but it can get very cold. But I suppose you're used to that.
Yeah, it can get pretty cold here too. We have hot summers and very cold winters.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've kind of got the same. I think as the years are going to progress because of the environment changing and things like that,
Yeah, global
weather's
warming.
just going to go all over the place, isn't it?
Yep, weather really changes.
Yeah. Did you get affected by the storms?
The storms. No, they actually went right around us. It went
Okay,
right around us barely, so that was good.
that's okay then. I know they were quite severe, weren't they?
Yes, there was plenty of tornadoes around where we were, but they went or not towards us.
Scary, scary
Yeah,
stuff.
not the
Now,
first tornado to be around us though. There's been plenty of those. The Wizard of Oz.
yeah.
Yeah, we're famous because that's where was Kansas is famous.
Okay,
We are
yeah.
right by that area. Not gonna
Right.
say where,
Okay.
obviously, but
That's pretty cool. That's pretty
we're
cool.
right in Tornado Central.
Do you find that like the weather is starting to affect the insects and animals in your area?
I
How do
would
they
say the
deal
weather
with
does.
tornadoes?
Whenever there's tornado, I always bring all my pets downstairs. I have little critter carriers and stuff for my pets, just in case. Like I have a portable cage for my guinea pig. I have two critter carriers for my frogs.
Yeah,
I have a critter carrier from my millipede,
yeah,
and my ants. If I have time, I'll bring them down, but that's pretty difficult. But so most of the time I have to leave them up.
yeah.
But yeah,
Okay, wow.
and the
Well,
dogs can
that's
just take them with us.
yeah, of course. Dogs are a bit easier. They'll follow you.
Yeah.
Well, that's really actually interesting that you have to have like almost everything on standby to evacuate your pets.
Yeah, I have a little corner of my room for the critter carriers, just in case.
Wow. Do you have like your own storm shelter as well then?
We have an area by our basement. It's not really a storm shelter. It's kind of like another storage area, but it's all concrete
Okay,
and built to withstand stuff. So we use it as shelter.
that's
It's
fair.
so it just goes. So we have a basement, and then we just go off into this other room that's smaller and darker, obviously.
Yeah,
No glass in there or anything because we don't
yeah,
want anything happening.
yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, I've never experienced anything like a tornado. That's pretty insane. What I would like to know is how they how do tornadoes actually affect like ants and stuff in the ground? Like say there's an ant colony there and the tornado goes over the top of it.
Oh, you can definitely tell. You can also watch the weather. You tell that the conditions are right. But you can watch the ants. The ants they'll start to dismantle hills and stuff, and build up an area over top and block up the entrances. And I've noticed they
Okay.
tend to move down more underground. And my ants that I have, they'll tend to not come out of the foraging area, not into that foraging area, and they'll
Yeah.
just stay in their nest. Sometimes they'll block up the entrance to their nest. So that's
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
So that's interesting. So they get like environmental cues and they're blocking it up and hiding before the
For big
storms.
storms, yeah.
Well, that's really. I mean, we have cows, which basically, if the cows lie down, it's going to rain.
Yeah, we have plenty of cows here. We have
Well,
cows,
yeah,
horses, and yeah.
yeah.
When I go to my
That's
grandparents, have a horse there.
horse. Yeah, I think deers do the same as well. I think most animals get those kind of environmental cues still. We probably lost it as we've become more humanized and like we've lost those extra senses. But
Yeah.
even dogs feel it in the kind of air, don't they?
What?
Like dogs can kind of sense the atmospheric changes or the environment or the weather,
Yeah,
can't they?
you can
Yeah.
tell you can tell they're a little more antsy when the antsy. You can tell they're a little more antsy when something's up. But
Yeah.
our dogs tend to be not very aware of it. You can tell a little bit off, but they're just like to play around and don't really seem like anything's wrong.
That's fair. That's fair. I think again that's because they're not too worried. They live in a captive environment. I think
Yeah, they're more
wild.
domesticated. They're
Yeah,
more
yeah,
domesticated.
yeah. That's the word I was looking for. Domesticated.
Yeah.
Thank you. So like wild animals, they probably do have that more connection still, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've just about finished all my questions. If anyone else has any further questions, feel free to chuck them in now. If not, we are going to end the interview in a couple of minutes. Is there anything else that you want to say before you go?
Just go check out my channel if you enjoyed this. I'm not currently uploading very much right now because most of my animals are in hibernation, but I'll definitely get back to that in spring. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're going to keep our eyes open, and I will put a link in the description of this video so everyone can head over to your channel and give you a sub, and we'll all wait for your next upload whenever that next is.
Great, thank you.
No, thank you. It's been absolutely brilliant having you on here. It's been a great chat, and we've had some amazing people in comments as well joining us. So a big thank you to all of them as well.
Thank you to everyone for watching, and thank you a lot, Anson Rock, for letting me join this live stream. I really appreciate it, and I just really want to say thank you because this was very fun.
Yeah, no, it's an honor to have you on. It's an honor to have everybody on every week. It blows my mind that everyone's been so accepting of this, and it's been great fun doing it, and I enjoy it every week. So thank you for coming on.
Thanks. Bye.
Brilliant. I shall let you sign off in your own time.
Okay.
There we go. And that is it for this week's picnic table ant chat. Got that right in the end. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for signing on. Don't forget to check out all the different social media doodads. We got Twitch, we got Facebook, Spotify and Anchor and everything else. This will be on Spotify by tomorrow. At some point, it was really slow last week. It just wasn't letting me get to the data. Even though I could see it right in front of me, it just wasn't letting me do it. So if it's not there by like straight away, it will be there tomorrow as soon as I can. Make sure you're subbed to my channel as well. I've got all sorts of cool new videos lined up for you. Some amazing little builds, some amazing big builds, all sorts of stuff. And obviously my review videos come out tomorrow. So don't miss out on that either. And as always from me, I'll see you again, Ant fans. Thanks for signing in.